The end of this year promises to be absolutely insane for gamers. From October to December, we're getting a real avalanche of huge releases, many of which we've been waiting for years, and today we're checking out the 15 most anticipated ones. What's up, guys? It's Broz, and here we go. Let's start with the biggest exclusive of the year for PS5 alongside Death Stranding 2, and that's Ghost of Yotei, a standalone sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Jumping 329 years forward to 1603, we land on Ezo, modern-day Hokkaido. You follow Atsu, a lone mercenary seeking vengeance against the Yotei 6 after her family's slaughter. Sucker Punch deliberately chose this time jump to explore new themes and give Atsu her unique path. However, Atsu's design and the female protagonist choice have sparked significant social justice criticism in the community. Some argue it's forcing ideologies or reducing attractiveness, with discussions involving actress Erika Ishii, who openly identifies as gender fluid and queer and is known for her LGBTQ+ activism. Developers emphasize focusing on gameplay, having consulted the Ainu people for cultural authenticity. Combat evolves, shifting from stances to a diverse weapon arsenal. A fascinating new mechanic lets you travel to the past with a button press, revealing how areas looked years ago. For atmosphere, there's Miike mode for brutal cinematic visuals, and the unexpected Watanabe mode, replacing the soundtrack with lo-fi compositions overseen by Shinichiro Watanabe. Kurosawa mode, which makes the game look like a classic samurai film, also returns. Ghost of Yotei hits PlayStation 5 exclusively on October 2nd. Next up, Crimson Desert. Originally a Black Desert Online prequel, it evolved into a full single-player action-adventure. And this is also one of the most anticipated releases of this year. You play Cliff McDuff, a mercenary navigating the vast continent of Paiwell. A standout feature is the combat. Pearl Abyss describes it as a hack and slash with combo elements, almost like a fighting game. You'll memorize button combinations for attacks and wrestling-style moves. This isn't a typical RPG grind. There's no XP or levels, pushing you to focus on objectives rather than endless enemy clearing. Development has been notoriously long and troubled. Announced in 2019, it saw multiple delays, with early demos running as low as 10 FPS. In June-July, late in development, they're still deciding on the number of bosses from a pool of 20 to 40, and some weapon movesets remain unfinished. It seems all these issues have already been resolved, and a playable demo will be presented at Gamescom 2025. Community skepticism also lingers due to Black Desert Online's pay-to-win reputation, despite Crimson Desert being single-player, and Pearl Abyss has a lot to prove here. The game is slated to release for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, including macOS. Battlefield 6 aims to return to the series' roots after the failed 2042, with tactical destruction as a core innovation. This pushes environmental deformation to new levels, letting you use C4, rocket launchers, or even a sledgehammer to reshape the battlefield, creating cover or new paths. Based on the open beta test that started in August, it's safe to say that Battlefield 6 feels like a return to the classic entries, such as BF3 and BF4. Players are praising the reinstatement of classes, the game's stability, and the lack of crashes and performance issues, and are also thrilled with the destructibility. A notable point is that cheaters appeared even in the first hours of the beta, though the developers were quick to ban them. Overall, there were more than 300,000 concurrent players on Steam, and it can be said that Battlefield 6 showed a strong performance. EA has set an ambitious 100 million player target, a number even Battlefield 1's 30+ million never reached. Many, including DICE developers, deem this unrealistic, especially with the game's budget reportedly ballooning past $400 million. Developers is reportedly betting the farm on a Warzone-style Battle Royale mode, putting immense pressure on the project. Battlefield 6 drops October 10th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Another loud release, Code Violet, a dinosaur horror game. This title, from Team Kill Media, known for Quantum Error, is openly inspired by the classic Dino Crisis, aiming to fill that void for fans of Capcom's dormant franchise. You'll step into the shoes of Violet Sinclair, abducted from the past and navigating a complex overrun by deadly dinosaurs. Now here's the controversial detail. Developers explicitly stated they're skipping a PC release to prevent vulgar mods of characters, citing a desire to protect their voice actors and artistic vision. This sparked outrage, especially since their debut trailer featured PC gameplay. The audience's strong reaction significantly overshadowed other aspects, sparking wide debate about developer control. Ironically, Deluxe Edition pre-order bonuses include a retro American bombshell pinup set, which some see as contradictory to their stated anti-vulgarity stance. The studio emphasizes a unique fear system where Violet's mental state impacts her perception of threats. Early trailer reactions were mixed, with some concerns about graphics. It's generated buzz, but perhaps not always for expected reasons. On the upside, they posted a nearly 20-minute gameplay video 2 months before release, and they didn't hide anything from the players, which is something that deserves respect at a time when many just churn out trailers. Code Violet was anticipated for a July release, but it will now launch exclusively on PlayStation 5 on November 14, making it the third and final new Sony exclusive of the year. Ninja Gaiden 4. This direct sequel introduces a new protagonist, Yakumo, a genius ninja from a rival clan, with Ryu Hayabusa taking a secondary playable role akin to Dante in Devil May Cry 4. The game is being developed in collaboration with Team Ninja, the creators of Nioh, and Platinum Games, the creators of Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. This partnership promises something special. Combat is described as a pure action dream, feeling like an even better version of Ninja Gaiden 2, with a focus on flair and spectacle. We'll see Metal Gear Rising-style elements, such as stealth kills, a parry system, and brutal combat. A new rail action mechanic aims for the fastest action experience, maintaining momentum even during transitions. Bosses will feature Platinum Games-esque gimmick phases, like 2D camera sections. Crucially for those intimidated by the series' legendary difficulty, there's good news. The game offers levels from easy to true ninja. If you struggle, a ninja master will simply appear before boss fight sites and say, "Here's some items, take these, you're struggling." This welcome addition makes the game accessible to a wider audience without sacrificing the hardcore challenge. The game launches on October 21st for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC, hitting Xbox Game Pass Day 1. The long-awaited Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is finally set to launch. Players will take on the role of Fire, a 400-year-old elder vampire awakening in modern Seattle. The road to this release has been notoriously long, tortured, and confusing. Announced in 2019 for a 2020 launch, it faced multiple delays and a studio change from Hardsuit Labs to the Chinese Room, which recently bought its independence from Sumo Digital, laying off staff in the process. The 2025 version shows a dramatic transformation in gameplay. The Chinese Room, known for narrative games, focused on superhuman first-person vampire combat, including high-speed strikes and blood magic. It shifted from a potential open world to a dense hub design, a pragmatic decision given the turbulent development. Adding to the drama, the game has sparked controversy over the protagonist's gender. Despite male and female options, concerns arose about limited customization and a perceived forced gender choice, deviating from the original Bloodlines' deep character creation. These debates even led to heated forum discussions. Is it just me, or is criticism specifically related to this topic reaching a new level in games? I've been seeing a lot of criticism about gender inequality lately, which I don't remember seeing much of before. Even so, Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2 hits PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC in October 2025. Arc Raiders, the new shooter from Embark Studios, from the creators of The Finals. Originally announced as a free-to-play PvE co-op shooter, it underwent a radical, controversial pivot. First to an extraction shooter that pits players against both each other and AI-controlled enemies, then surprisingly, it dropped its free-to-play model to become a premium title. This change sparked significant community disappointment, with many feeling misled and calling it a bad business decision that drastically cut the potential player base. Embark Studios even had to apologize for mismanaging the hype and misreading the situation. The game is set in a future Earth where humanity lives underground, and you're a raider venturing topside for resources. Each round is a 30-minute raid where you face hostile AI robots and other human vulture players. Extraction happens via elevators or safer raider hatches. Early technical tests received largely positive reviews. Some praised it as one of the most polished extraction shooters, while others found it the most "it's fine" game and aggressively archetypical, lacking originality. Its release coincides with Call of Duty and Battlefield 6, adding to the challenge. Arc Raiders launches October 30th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. And now the main madness of the end of the year, High on Life 2. We're back playing as the intergalactic bounty hunter, whose comfortable life shatters when a price is put on his sister's head by an evil pharmaceutical conglomerate. Squanch Games, known for their signature humor, introduces a major new mechanic, skateboarding. You'll now shoot, stab, and skate through alien cities in halfpipes, adding a Sunset Overdrive-like speed and fluidity to movement and combat. Classic talking guns like Knifey return, joined by new ones like the sniper sheath and the horrible fishy-looking dual pistols. A key point of interest is the departure of Justin Roiland, original voice of Kenny. The developers cleverly integrated this into the game's lore, explaining Kenny's absence by stating the bounty hunter dropped Kenny. This witty meta-commentary addresses the real-world controversy directly within the game's narrative. The game retains its mature rating, promising nudity, crude humor, blood, and gore. Expect more fourth-wall breaks and self-referential jokes. The title launches this winter on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, and will hit Game Pass day one. Where Winds Meet, an open-world RPG set in ancient China's chaotic 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms era. You play a warrior exploring their origins. This free-to-play title from Everstone Studio and NetEase is a true genre smorgasbord, blending martial arts combat, exploration, and a shared online world. It boasts unique elements. A wanted system where killing NPCs can lead to other players hunting you down for capture and imprisonment. You can even be framed by NPCs, requiring you to hire other players for help. Combat, while compared to Wo Long's parry system, was described as clunky with off-timing in beta, leading to a defensive style. However, an auto parry system exists. Light step techniques let you literally fly across the sky. Among its features are a robust building system, mini-games like Mahjong, and even a 50-player Battle Royale mode. It's already seen success in China. As of May 2025, according to a report from publisher NetEase, the Chinese version of the game has already been played by over 30 million people, and it's definitely ambitious, attempting to fuse many popular elements into one package. But the cutscenes and character facial animations, which feel like they're from the PS3, are a big turnoff for me personally. Where Winds Meet launches globally in 2025 for PlayStation 5 and PC, including macOS and mobile versions. PS5 will have timed console exclusivity for a minimum of 6 months after launch. Returning to corporate cosmic chaos, The Outer Worlds 2 from Obsidian Entertainment. Despite Obsidian being Microsoft-owned, it's releasing simultaneously on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. This signals a significant shift in platform strategy, making it widely accessible. This standalone sequel plunges into the new Arcadia star system, fully colonized by megacorporations. The tone is much darker, blending space western with cosmic horror, described as robber barons in space. You play an Earth Directorate agent investigating mysterious rifts. Obsidian has overhauled the gunplay, improving recoil, sound, and aiming, even consulting the Halo team for an FPS shooter rather than an RPG with guns feel. Mobility is vastly improved with sprint sliding, parkour, and double jumps. The shrink ray returns, now permanently miniaturizing enemies for a satisfying kick. RPG systems are deeper, focusing on 12 skills and permanent traits with no respec option, emphasizing commitment to your build. Initially, information appeared that The Outer Worlds 2 would cost $80, and at the time, it was positioned as the first Xbox game with that price tag. However, after criticism from players, the company officially announced that the price of The Outer Worlds 2 would be reduced to $70. You'll be able to dive into this cosmic odyssey on October 29th. I might have jumped the gun with the main contender for the most madness game of the year, High on Life 2, because we have another one, and that's Kingmakers. The core idea is time traveling to the medieval ages, where you use modern weapons and vehicles like M16s, grenade launchers, tanks, and even helicopters to change history in massive battles. Think the Black Knight movie, but with way more action. The standout feature is seamless switching between an RTS-style top-down view, like Total War, and third-person combat. You can strategically command your medieval armies, then personally jump into the fray with modern firepower. Battles are massive, with hordes of medieval soldiers and fully destructible buildings. Developers of Redemption Road games warn that guns don't always win knife fights. This means modern tech isn't an instant win. you'll still need strategy and unit management. Medieval units are individually AI-driven, behaving more like Mount and Blade than Total War. There's a full co-op story mode for up to 4 players. Interestingly, some in the community wish medieval soldiers would show morale and flee from modern weaponry, similar to GTA NPCs. Kingmakers hits early access October 8th on PC, and console versions are planned. City-building fans will also have something to keep them busy at the end of the year. Anno 117 Pax Romana. This 8th Anno installment takes us to the earliest historical setting yet, 117 AD, the Pax Romana era. Players take on the role of a Roman governor, shaping their empire through power or economy. Ubisoft Mainz, subsidized by Germany's Ministry of Economics, introduces optional needs for population tiers, aiming for accessibility without sacrificing complexity. A new attribute system links resources to benefits, drawbacks, and production buildings influence nearby structures, encouraging strategic placement. For aesthetics, ornaments and their ground plates are now separate, and buildings visually adapt to terrain. Naval warfare is revamped, 3 ship sizes, each with military economic specializations and limited modification slots allowing up to 114 combinations for the largest ships. Anno 117 plans built-in mod support from launch, including a mod loader for earlier community modifications than Anno 1800. The game is scheduled to launch on November 13th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. A brutal return to purgatory and a reimagined classic of action shooters, Painkiller. This modern take on the 2004 classic sees you, condemned for your sins, battling hordes of demons in gruesome gothic locales to stop the fallen angel Azazel's invasion. Onshar Studios focuses on maintaining the original's frenetic movement and fast-paced combat. Your movements include jumping, using a hookshot to get in close to opponents, and dashing to evade. Visuals are much sharper with substantial improvement, and the arsenal features new and classic weapons with unique effects. Tarot cards return to enhance your abilities. The biggest new additions are online co-op for up to 3 players, letting you share the chaos with friends, and 4 distinct playable characters. Each possesses unique perks affecting health, energy, power, and damage, adding significant depth and replayability. You can even combine tarot card abilities in cooperative. This isn't just a graphical update, it's a full modernization aiming to introduce Painkiller to a new generation while satisfying veterans with its core brutal action. New Painkiller launches October 9th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Little Nightmares 3. We follow new child protagonists, Lo and alone, navigating the nowhere, a desolate, dreamlike realm filled with hostile creatures. The biggest, most controversial change is the introduction of online co-op, allowing 2 players to journey together, or solo with an AI companion. A friend's pass means only 1 copy is needed for cooperative. Lo wields a bow, Alone a wrench, crucial for puzzles. However, this decision sparked significant backlash from longtime fans. Many feel the game has lost what defined the series, becoming more platformer and puzzles with horror elements than horror. Critics argue it lacks the original sense of anxiety, and that adding weapons makes it more arcade-like, potentially toning down horror for the masses. Development shifted from Tarsier Studios to Supermassive Games, which might explain this change in approach. Nintendo Switch owners should note, no free upgrade to Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition for LN1, requiring a new purchase on Switch 2. Little Nightmares 3 launches October 10th for next-gen and last-gen consoles, PC and Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. And finally, Hollow Knight Silksong, one of the most anticipated indie projects. You play Hornet, Princess Protector of Halonest, captured and taken to a distant, unfamiliar land. Her journey is a deadly pilgrimage to the peak of this new kingdom, battling over 150 new enemies and bosses. Hornet boasts a very different playstyle from the Knight, much more nimble and acrobatic. She'll master a whole new suite of powerful moves, including devastating attacks and incredible silken abilities. Silksong's development story is legendary. Originally planned as DLC, ideas for Hornet grew so vast that Team Cherry, a tiny 3-person independent studio, decided to make it a full sequel. This explains the insanely long wait since its February 2019 announcement. Team Cherry, having earned significant funds, has very little incentive to grind, prioritizing work-life balance. Still, major platforms like Nintendo and Microsoft repeatedly pushed the game for announcements, setting unrealistic release times on Team Cherry's behalf. The recent confirmation for a release before Christmas 2025 is what the community, long in a state of Silksanity, is desperately holding on to. Hollow Knight Silksong is slated for release by December 25th. It's coming out on every platform imaginable. No point even listing them. Well, and the bonus part. If you've been craving a true successor to the legendary Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, Fate Keeper might just be your next obsession. This game is all about visceral first-person combat, where every swing of your two-handed sword feels incredibly impactful and weighty. You've got magic that truly interacts with the environment. Imagine freezing an entire lake, luring enemies onto it, then melting the ice with a fireball to send them plunging into the abyss. The developers Paraglacial are a small studio from the German Alps, crafting a world inspired by their terrain, promising detailed, handcrafted environments. RPG systems look robust, with deep progression and gear customization reminiscent of Witcher 3 and Dark Souls. Fate Keeper is launching in early access winter 2025 for PC, which could extend into early 2026. As for consoles, the developers have stated that more platforms and details to be announced in the future. If you found something you liked, drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss new videos. I'm curious to know which of these games you'll be playing first, so be sure to let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.